You've already met Philip and Kincaid, and of course Kristen. How about the rest of you all tell Nancy something about yourselves? How about you first?
The name's Dean, Dino. Some even call me Dino the Machino.
Oh, shit.
Dude, what is your problem?
It wasn't strong enough.
Anytime you want to arm wrestle, bring it on. I'm a toy collector. I'm a closet movie and horror figure collector.
Later, how much longer you gonna keep blowing smoke up our ass?
That's enough, Kincaid!
Dude, what is your problem with me? You don't believe me? Well, I can show you. Hey everyone, welcome back to Geek Strong. As you saw in the beginning of this video, I talked about that I am a movie and horror figure closet collector, meaning my movie and horror figures are in this closet. I've been collecting movies for years. I was collecting figures for a while, and then I stopped and started collecting more on physical media, as in movies and stuff like that. So I went back and forth. I had a ton of horror figures at one time, and when the kids were little, they were kind of afraid of it. So I kind of got rid of a bunch of it, and I've been trying to get more back in my collection now. So for years, I've wanted to focus and change this closet into a little bit more organized movie horror figure little area here. I've had handheld vintage video games in here, Playmobil, some other miscellaneous toys inside there, and I just want to keep it focused on movies and horror figures in there. So we're going to organize it. I took all the video games out of there. Playmobil is gone. A few other movie little figures, not so much horror, but I do have a few others in there. So it's focusing pretty much on the horror and movie collection. So what I showed you as I was talking, that was a before picture, or before video, I should say. And now we have an after. So it's pretty much complete. I mean, I'm always going to change it when I get new things, new movies and stuff like that. So I'll change it around and stuff like that. But I'm pretty happy with it. I think it's coming out pretty good. So what do you say? Let's do this. Okay, let's start right over here. We're going to check out the vintage video games from the 70s and 80s. Here we have a Pac-Man. Remember Merlin? Who remembers Merlin? This is fantastic. I love that. I remember playing with that as a kid. We have a baseball game. We have Q*bert. We have Raceway. We have another, just dropped something, basketball game, a football game there. So I love handheld video games. Those are cool, but I think they just fit better here with a vintage tube TV and your Nintendo and all that stuff underneath there. As far as some horror figures, so I have Universal Monsters here. We have Remco, AHI, and Mego. So that's pretty cool. This is Count Creepyhead. I had to double check. Count Creepyhead, I believe it's from Kenner. It's Play-Doh. So you put Play-Doh inside the body here and you squeeze it and it fills up the mold. Right now it's a mummy, and I have all the rest of them. But this guy's pretty cool for vintage Play-Doh and monsters. We have some models. I love models. Back in the day, I built all these. I think they're called like it's gigantic. Entire scene. Now this is a vintage one from the 70s. I do have some reproduction. This is the reproduction version of the praying mantis, but check that out. I painted all that. I love that. So I have them all. There's a tarantula, there's a scorpion, and then the praying mantis. So okay, let's go in the closet, check out the horror figures here. But before we check out the horror figures, look at this. So I have a pegboard system here for my Marvel Legends, retro Spider-Man figures, and X-Men, and also the Iron Man. And these pegs are 10 inches long, so you can definitely fit quite a few figures in there. I do have my trophies from bodybuilding. So again, Kincaid, anytime you want to arm wrestle, bring it on. We have a bunch of bins in here of just figures. We have Ghostbusters, Ninja Turtles, Star Wars, wrestling figures. These are all the overflow that I can't display. They're all in these bins, and there's tons. There's what, 4 here, and then there's another, I think, 5 in the back there. So 10, like 14 bins, all right there. We have my McFarlane animated Batman figures and also Batman 66 stuff there. We have the Dune bucket. There's a Dune bucket unopened, and also the Slimer bucket. This is a vintage hand from the 80s. Check this out. So back in probably like 83 or something like that, I used to put this on my bedroom door. So it just goes right over the handle. But look at that. It glows in the dark too. Pretty cool. I can imagine, you know, still having that from the 80s. All right, let's start down here. We'll go all the way down. So this is Jason X mask. So look at how cool that is. So that is a mask. Okay, right here is my Laserdisc collection. So we have The Lost Boys, Batman Forever, Raiders of the Lost Ark, Temple of Doom, Last Crusade, Empire Strikes Back, another Empire Strikes Back, another Empire Strikes Back. What the heck? Star Wars, Return of the Jedi. This is a Kiss album. Get that out of there. Jurassic Park Laserdisc. That's pretty big. Princess Bride. The Dark Crystal. Look at that. Backdraft. And then we have Dances with Wolves. And then Grumpier Old Men and Grumpy Old Men. Those were gifted to me by a guy at work. His aunt was going to throw them away. And I'm like, no, I'll take Laserdisc. I love them. So I think those are pretty cool. Okay, let's go right up here. So we have the puzzle box from Hellraiser. This was, I believe, from McFarlane. McFarlane sold all the Hellraiser figures, and each figure came with a build-a-piece, so you could build the puzzle box, and I think that's pretty cool. Unfortunately, I don't have any of the figures anymore. I sold them all, but I do have the puzzle box. Here we have the Spider Gremlin from NECA, Robocop, Ed 209. We have Freddy's glove. That's a Halloween costume, Freddy's glove. The Thing NECA, Evil Dead. These are all NECA figures still in the box. American Wolf London, the new Scream figure. This is the pumpkin from Halloween Part 3, Season of the Witch. This is from Trick or Treat Studios. It lights up, plays music, and stuff like that. That's pretty cool. Here's a Chucky mask. There is a Chucky doll. Right up here, we have my Close Encounters collection. So we have a couple of VHS tapes of Close Encounters, a Viewmaster. There is a Blu-ray Close Encounters of the Third Kind. I don't know if it's 4K. I can't remember if it's 4K, but check this out. You press the button. Isn't that cool? And it comes with, well, it doesn't come with any, it comes with the movies, but check out this vintage alien from Close Encounters of the Third Kind. How cool is that, huh? I love that. I actually had one of those. I had to buy this one on eBay, but I had this as a kid. We have NECA's The Thing, the dog. That's pretty cool. This was like a blind box, and this is the giant spider from Stephen King's It, the TV show. The TV series, I should say. Here we have My Bloody Valentine figure. We have Halloween 3 figures. There is Christine, Johnny Lightning. We have FX Freddy right there. I've talked about him on Oakhurst Studios live stream. We have a statue of the Chestbuster from Alien. We'll come right up here. We have Friday the 13th. Here we have that's not Friday the 13th, but we have from Marvel Legends. That guy really goes good with horror figures, like he's the victim. Can't remember his name. I think he's the Hood, right? There is the new like 3D like little thing that they sell at Walmart. I forget what they're called. Little display, but I love that Friday the 13th that pops out at you. Here we have a nice little DVD slipcover of Friday the 13th Part 3. I believe that's NECA Freddy. I'm not really sure. It's an older Freddy from Part 3.
Hey Dino, it's Jason, not Freddy. Get it right.
These are Toonie Terrors that I painted to look like Nintendo versions. They were actually supposed to release them on Toonie Terrors, the Nintendo version, but they never did, so I made my own. Here we have Pamela Voorhees coming out of the water, and Jason coming out of the water right there. So I put the movies with it, Friday the 13th. This is the complete set. I think it looks pretty cool with all Friday the 13th figures. Here we have some more. This is an older set. Again, I'm not sure if this is McFarlane. It might be McFarlane.
McFarlane made a lot of movie maniacs, but this is actually from NECA.
But I love that Pamela Voorhees' head with the sweater, and there's Jason Part 2. Here we have one of my favorite movies here, Phantasm. This is 2 box sets. I believe that might have a 4K in it. I can't quite remember, but this is the Spear, and this is actually a musical thing that they actually, this is what they used in the movie to to get into the next dimension. You see those posts right there next to the tall man? That's supposed to be kind of like one of these things. When it made a humming sound like this. You hear that? The vibrating? This is like something you would put on to get like the rhythm or something like that. I forget exactly what they're called. Let me know in the comments. I'm not a music guy, but that's pretty much what that is, if that makes any kind of sense. But this is a McFarlane.
It's NECA, not McFarlane. Get it right.
Tall man figure with the dwarf. This is actually from John Wick Part 4. I believe it's John Wick 4. This is the Cuda. But in the movie Phantasm, the car was actually the Cuda from, I think that's 1971. And then I got a couple of Star Wars Jawas micro machines. Micro machines of the Jawas. So I figured that looks pretty cool like that. We have Texas Chainsaw Massacre there with the movies. I love that figure set. Here we have Little Monsters. I just picked that up. So we got room for some more stuff there. Killer Clowns from Outer Space. We have Pumpkinhead over there. There's an alien. Look at Reagan from The Exorcist. That's pretty fun. Here we have the American Werewolf for London. Kessel Wolf. Right back there is the mask of a predator, but that's a bottle opener. Here we have a couple of Freddy figures. That one's vintage right there. I had that as a kid. That's the same one that I had as a kid. NECA Freddy there. We have the DVD box set. This is, I think this might be Mezco. Again, I'm not exactly sure the name of the company. I don't know if it's McFarlane, Mezco. I mean, I bought that so long ago. But that was from Part 5, The Dream Child. I love this Freddy Krueger set here. This little movie, Hollywood Rides. I love that. That's pretty cool. And another Freddy when he's eating... when he's eating, I can't remember her name from the movie. She is from Part 3, the Dream Warriors. Here we have, this is the Freddy fan club. I joined that, so I have that. That was from the 80s, as well as the pin. That is Freddy, what does it say? Freddy Wants You. It says Freddy Wants You on there. How fun is that? And we have a Freddy little suction. It's supposed to have a suction cup on top of his hat that you would have like dangling from your car or something. A bunch of movies here. We have my horror collection here. This is, I had so many more horror movies, but this is what I have now. I do want to get The Howling on 4K. I think that'd be pretty cool. But Abbott and Costello Meet Frankenstein was one of the best movies back in the day. And then we have some NECA, Wolfman and Frankenstein right next to Monster Squad. Right up top, it's NECA figures there. I do have to get part 3 and 4 of NECA Jason, sorry. And I have to get part 1 of Freddy because I have part 2 and 3. I don't think they made any more Freddys. So I just need part 3 and part 4 for Friday the 13th. I don't think they have a Pamela Voorhees for NECA. I don't even think they can do that anymore. Here we have all the Puppet Master figures there. There is another one behind Six Shooter back there. Here we have Blade, a large version of Blade. I have both versions of Elvira. We have They Live, John Nader. This is the WWE version of Hollywood, but I love that figure. And then we have that version of They Live figures. Christmas Vacation over there. That is, let me pull that down, show you that. This is Clark when he's wearing his chainsaw mask, kind of like Jason. I figure that's appropriate for my horror collection. Here we have just some cool movies that I still like right there. A lot of them are 3D movies too. Right there, look at Predator 3D. They actually put the Predator in 3D, and that's the new technology. That they actually did a really good job too. Here we have Audrey from Little Shop of Horrors. That is a Funko Pop. Here is the Book of the Dead from The Evil Dead. This is a DVD. It's actually kind of gushy here too. It's like soft, like gushy, but this is all like the Book of the Evil Dead, and there's the DVD inside there. So that's pretty cool. I love that. Here we have Independence Day over here. Metal Storm. Who remembers that movie right back here? Remember that movie, Metal Storm? The destruction of Jared Sin. That's pretty cool. I think, was Molly Ringwald in that one? I can't remember if that was the same one. But we have Jurassic Park VHS. Some more movies over here that I figured I'd put for display. My Star Wars movies, you're definitely going to have Star Wars there. I figured this one looks really cool. I know people... The Force Awakens pretty good, so... And this is the 3D version of The Force Awakens, so... And we have the Rise of Skywalker. I actually have whatever they came out in 3D, I picked up. And right back there is the complete saga. Right down here, Jaws. We have the VHS. Those are pretty cool. I love those. And that is part 2, right back there. Part 2 on VHS and part 1 widescreen. Well, the first Jaws. Here we have Jaws reaction figure. I'm so happy that I have that. We have tiny TVs of Jaws and all Jaws movies there. I have the 4K Ultra HD Jaws part 1 and part 2. And part 2 wasn't the greatest in 4K, but it is what it is. We have all of the NECA Jaws figures here. Here is a stuffed Jaws that actually plays the sound. I get a little Jaws from Dandy 1981. Thank you, Dan. This lights up and plays the music and stuff like that for Jaws. We have the reaction figures of Quint Hooper and Chief Brody. And unfortunately, Quint fell off the card. I still have the card, but unfortunately it came off the card. Here we have Jaws 3D. These are the full set of Topps cards. And some other items here. So I think that's pretty cool. Right down here we have some miscellaneous Toonie figures. I'll light this up in a minute and show you that. Right down here we have RoboCop. All of my movies down here. These are pretty much like Transformers, Jurassic Park over here, Star Trek. Just some miscellaneous movies here. We have a bunch of different box sets of E.T. down there. I have all the Marvel movies are in there. Right over here, up on top of this, is all my... These are like action movies. We got The Mummy, Jack, The Giant Slayer, Journey to the Center of the Earth. All these are all my DVD. A lot of them are 3D. I'm a big 3D guy. The Hobbit movies over here. Blade Runner, Rocky, G.I. Joe 3D, Pacific Rim, Jumanji, Grease. So a bunch of movies there, and right underneath here is all my like family movies, like Disney and Pixar and stuff like that. All movies in there. So yeah, I think this little set over here, this little display, has come together pretty nice. I'll light that up and show you what that looks like in a minute. But let me know in the comments, what do you think of my collection over here, and how do you like the display? So there it is, all lit up, and it actually plays sound. I'll show you that in a second. So I can't play the whole thing, I don't want to get copyright, but it plays the whole song pretty much. So I think that's pretty fun. So last but not least, these are some of my movie posters that I put in frames recently. This is from the 80s. I had this on my wall as a kid. That one's pretty cool. I love that one. This I actually purchased at a movie theater shop. A movie shop, you know, your movie rental shop. This is the Puppet Master Part 3. That's pretty awesome. I love that. And then right behind it is a Freddy Krueger movie poster. And again, I had all these back in the 80s. Freddy Delivers. This is Dream Child, Part 5. So yeah, pretty fun. So that's a quick look at my horror movie collection. I try to do it as quick as I could just to show you. I don't want to drag on and show you every single movie that I own. But I think it came out pretty good. I like it. Let me know what's your favorite thing in there. Do you like horror? Do you like collecting physical media? Because I do. But I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel. Do all that good stuff. Remember, we are all Geek Strong. Take care, everyone.